Welcome back to CryptosRUs. I am George. We're all George. So today I want to talk about inflation. I think that's important because we do have a lot to worry about in terms of rate hike, inflation, recession. There's a lot to talk about. And, of course, got to talk about why Bitcoin is the ultimate hedge against inflation, among other things that I want to share today. So, let's get started. Smash all the likes, subscribe to the channel. Make sure you hit that notification bell to get notified of my 3 streams every day. And also, make sure you check out all the social media, including TikTok, and check out all the latest news, article, and guides at CryptosRUs.com. Welcome, welcome, welcome. It's a good day. It's a good day. I had a good stream this morning. If you guys have not been tuning in my morning streams, you should. I mean, my early morning stream. This is still a morning stream, at least for me. But yeah, Bitcoin is holding right back to 39,000. All right, we had a little scare yesterday, a little FUD over here, and it has been removed because the EU, they actually voted against that proof of work clause that someone snuck in that would have potentially banned Bitcoin from the EU, but the committee was smart enough to realize that was stupid and they removed that. So that FUD gone out the window. Right? At this point, no one wants to ban Bitcoin. Everyone realizes that Bitcoin is here to stay. You can't try to ban it. It's not going to work. It's not advantageous to try to ban it. It's better. It's more advantageous to try to tax people that are holders than try to ban it. So no one's trying to ban it at this point. Okay. But anyways, that came out yesterday. Caused a little FUD over here. I said, hey, whenever things are down, it's good to buy opportunity. And it was. It was. Now, in addition to that, what else is there? In today's markets, kind of flat, except NASDAQ is a little bit weaker, negative 1.49%. Dow is about the same. S&P is a little the same. But you have some tech that's really selling off. I mean, take a look at this. Netflix shares hit the lowest point since the pandemic, March of 2020. 50% within the last 2 years. Wiped out. They went from 350 to 700, back down to 350. It's the same thing with others like PayPal, Block. You look at Facebook, they have all been decimated. Tech is definitely oversold. Very, very, very oversold. So, this morning people asked me if it's a good time to get in some of these into stocks, and I think it's not a bad time. But I would argue it's better to be buying into Bitcoin and crypto. But yeah, there's definitely a lot of opportunities out there. It's just Wall Street's just too reactive, trying to prepare. And of course, they, I think, overreacted. Because I think this Fed FOMC announcement, this meeting, this press conference that's going to happen, right? I think it's going to end up being more or less a nothing burger. But what they say going forward may not be a nothing burger. But this very first one, I think, will be. But anyways, a lot of experts trying to, speculate and theorize what may be coming, right? And yeah, a lot of people are just guessing. CPI is 7.9%. Definitely not good. The highest in 40 years, right? But what could be worse is if the economy goes in recession, right? And we don't want that. Powell doesn't want that. No one wants that. So it's a fine line. You got to tiptoe across it, because if you go too far on one end or another, you're going to get burned. You don't want inflation to go too high, yet you don't want the economy to go in recession. So you gotta tiptoe yourself, and everyone's just trying to guess what's going to happen. But I think what's going to happen this week is not a whole lot. It's in line with expectation, which is the rates are going to be going up 25 basis points. Now, I already mentioned this. I don't need to show this headline. But when it comes to homes, I guess if you're in a market to sell your home, or even if you're not, if you own a home, you're a homeowner, is good. So many people are predicting short term that home prices will continue to go up. I mean, homes have been very, 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 very good. In fact, homes went up 19% in 2021 alone. That doesn't take into account how much it went up in 2020 and how much it has gone up in 2022. So because interest rates are actually coming down slightly because of the uncertainty around the war and rising prices, so mortgage rates actually has come down. Homes, as we move into spring, right, the industry gets hotter. People are more likely to be looking for a home and selling their home, right? And supply overall is still low. So many people think that home prices will still continue to go up. Still makes me unsure, uneasy about this, because homes have gone up, like literally doubled within the last couple of years, right? Homes anywhere from 200 to 800,000 that have like literally doubled in price. So a little fearful about that. But anyways, if you do own a home, or if you're trying to sell a home, it's fantastic. But if you're trying to sell a home and you're trying to buy a home, well, then it evens out, right? Then you don't really gain. But if you could sell a home and rent a home, hey, then you're gonna be pretty good shape. You're gonna be pretty good shape. But anyways, so home prices are going up, still affects inflation. Supply chain still affects inflation. Oil prices, gas prices, all affects inflation. So if you're just holding a boatload of cash, it's not good. It's not good. Right now, you need to be holding assets. Okay, assets like Bitcoin. And according to Michael Saylor, assets that are property, right? They're like Bitcoin. And in fact, Michael Saylor and Elon had a pretty good debate about this on Twitter. Elon was asking about inflation. Michael Saylor said, well, inflation's going to get worse, especially with assets, right? Elon kind of poked fun of him, saying that it's not unpredictable that you would reach a conclusion that everyone should just buy Bitcoin. But then he's like, in general, you know, when you do have high inflation, you want to buy assets like homes and stocks. And Elon added that he owns Bitcoin, Ethereum, and Doge, which he did not sell and will not sell. And then Michael just chimed in again, basically arguing that you should not be in anything other than Bitcoin because there are still regulatory uncertainty, right? So he still believes that Bitcoin is the only one people should hold because it's deemed property and nothing else is deemed property. So that's Michael Saylor's stand. I, on the other hand, think that we will get clarity. This executive order from Biden will provide clarity. And there's no fear about holding altcoins or holding crypto outside of Bitcoin, right? And I do think Michael will come around. He's been a Bitcoin maxi so far. I mean, he's only been in the game for a couple of years. That's the only thing he knows. He recognizes there's DeFi and other things, but he's so too scared to get into them because of lack of regulations, lack of clarity. But those things will come, and he will come around, and he will realize that there are other things besides Bitcoin. But there's nothing wrong with holding Bitcoin, though. That's for sure. All right. So there's that. What else is going on? Well, imagine paying $36 for a Big Mac. That's what Russians are facing right now. Not because of inflation, because of the ban of McDonald's. This is how popular McDonald's is. I wonder if the U.S. bans McDonald's if Big Macs will sell for $36 each. I don't know. But, you know, I hate to laugh at a situation, but, you know, we know a lot of companies are banning their services and restaurants in Russia, including McDonald's, Burger King, Starbucks, Coca-Cola, Pepsi, you name it, right? And it's really just hurting citizens of Russia. It's not hurting Putin right now, but it's definitely hurting Russians, right? And this is just general day things. But, you know, obviously from a monetary standpoint, from an economic standpoint, financial standpoint, it's total devastation right now. It's total devastation. But I just thought this was funny that some people are paying $36 for Big Macs in Russia. And I don't even know what $36 equals in rubles. That's probably like, you know, 1,000,000 rubles to equal $36 at this point. So that's not good. And Russia is nearing default because of all the the assets being seized. They're at real risk that they can't pay their debts to the IMF, which would not be a good thing and could turn to a global contagion. So yeah, from a financial economic standpoint, it's not looking good. Not looking good at all for Russia and Russians right now. All right. Yeah, so I want to lead off with those things. What else is there? Well, going back to Bitcoin, 4.3 million rubles for $36. That's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy. Anyways, what about Bitcoin, though? What is Bitcoin doing? Is it still healthy? Well, the answer is, of course, yes. Yes. Right? So in this article, talks about illiquid supply and how it just keeps going up. I've been showing this. Illiquid supply is at the all-time high, right? And that's because you just have a lot of people that just keeps buying. Buying right here, right? Actually, I take that back. It's all-time high since 2018. But you could see how it is going up and up and up. Before, it was much higher when, you know, there's just a lot of holding, right? It did come back down since the 2018, you know, crypto winter, but it is definitely starting to climb once again, right? So as long as liquid supply is going up, that means Bitcoin is very, very, very healthy. There's a lot of accumulation, a lot of whale accumulation, a lot of corporate accumulation, a lot of accumulation overall, right? So that is very healthy. And if you look at this, 99% of all Bitcoin volume is over $100,000. And I only make up a small fraction of that. So if you're thinking I'm making up 99%, you're wrong. But think about that. 99% of the volume is over 100,000. Why do you think this is? Well, because going back to what I just said about a lot of buying going on, right? A lot of whales and institutions and companies, they're not buying $10 worth of Bitcoin, all right? They're buying millions and billions at a time. So it does make a lot of sense, right? So Bitcoin, very, very healthy right now. Very healthy indeed. And 38% of Bitcoin has not moved in 3 years. 3 years. That's a new high, new record. And that number will continue to go up as more and more people come and embrace Bitcoin and hold it and realize it is the ultimate hedge against inflation and the best store of value, right? And the best payment network there is. So this number will continue to go up, and this is an all-time high. So again, Bitcoin is in a fantastic shape. Fantastic shape right now. All right. What else is there? Austin Mayor embraces Web 3.0 tech and crypto payments. So Mayor Steve Adler of Austin, Texas has fully embraced the discovery of what blockchain technology and crypto payments can bring to a city, proposing 2 new initiatives. So, you know, bottom line is this. Now, there's a lot of cities, a lot of governors, a lot of states that are fully embracing crypto and Web 3.0 and blockchain overall, right? We know New York City, Miami, we have certain towns now, right? Austin. I mean, literally, everyone is trying to embrace it and trying to improve the legacy systems with something better. So again, measuring the fundamentals, it's good. It's good. Oh yeah, and this Bitcoin hash rate also jumps up 15%. in the last 10 days. So the miners, I like to remind you guys, the miners who are actually supporting the Bitcoin network, continuing to hold strong and continuing to move forward and continue to add even more hash power, because they're all fighting for the last little bit of Bitcoin that exists, right? Less than, I think, 8% now. Last time I checked, I think it was 92% or 93% of all Bitcoin is already gone. So they're all fighting for that last 8 or 7%. Yeah, that's good. That's good. Just a few other little pieces of news. Polygon is finally fixed and up to date. It looked like there was something wrong with their bridge, so they had to fix it. But now they are working, and this morning I was testing it out because, my I Am George strap-on NFT is actually on Polygon. And I had a hard time sending the 5 that I recently gave out. But this morning, I sent it, boom, 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 boom. No problems, really fast. So it's definitely fixed. Hopefully this doesn't happen again. We've been seeing a lot more chains have disruptions because of bugs or DDoS attacks or whatever, right? It's still early, but sometimes we do see something like this. VeChain, with their new VeUSD open for minting. It is now out of the test phase. So if you want to go ahead and mint, you could do so. This is very positive for VeChain overall, moving into DeFi, right? So the more DeFi dApps that come aboard on top of VeChain, and the more VeUSD is used and more VET is used, overall, it's going to be better for VeChain. So good for them. And lastly, this blew my mind. I didn't know it was this big already. But Do Kwon of Terra already bought $10 billion of Bitcoin. And he's backing that. He's backing UST with that 10 billion plus in Bitcoin. At first, I thought he was just buying $1 billion worth of Bitcoin. So no, it turned out he bought $10 billion worth of Bitcoin. So UST, if you look at UST, it's only around 14, 15 billion. Where's UST? It's 14.7 billion. Okay, so that number is climbing every single day. So pretty soon it's going to surpass Doge. But 13.7 billion and 14.7 billion. So that means more than 50% of UST is backed by Bitcoin now. And that number is supposed to be increasing too. So not only is that good for Bitcoin, because you have a tremendous amount being bought and locked up now, it's also good for UST and Terra. So that actually surprised me. I did not know it was that high already. That's phenomenal. All right. Hey, that's pretty much it. Overall, today is a somewhat of a recovery day, getting back to normal. We had some EU FUD we got over, right? We still have what's going on with Ukraine and Russia, but this week mostly will be based on, I think most people will look at what's going to happen with the Fed, the rate hike, what is Powell going to say, right, about inflation. And we have only just a few more days to wait. It will be announced on Wednesday. So tomorrow is when the meeting starts, and Wednesday is when we're going to hear what Powell has to say. All right, let's do some Q&A. Someone asks, if I use 100 ETH to make 2K a day, how would my taxes look like? The 2K a day will be taxed. That's your profit, right? So if you're making 2K a day, you're going to be taxed on a 2K. Let's see here. Armin, you are the best. George, thanks for all. I appreciate that. Coming alien invasion is fake or real? Hopefully it's fake, or we have bigger problems we have to worry about. The Fed rate hike has never happened during 7 to 10 years yields this low. Thoughts will happen. Let me read that again. The Fed rate hike has never happened during 7 and 10 year yields this low. I mean, it will happen. I mean, what does that go do to the 10-year and 7-year bonds? I don't know. It's been going up. 10 years finally above 2%. And I've been hearing that's a number we usually don't cross that very often. But the hike is going to come. Powell already said 25 basis points. So I don't think that's going to be a surprise. And he has to continue raising because inflation, you can't just let inflation keep rising, right? But again, like I said, he has to be very careful because if he goes too heavy with the rate hikes, then it's going to cause the economy to go into recession, and that's even worse. So he has to do it slowly. So we have like probably 6 meetings this year, and he could be just raising 25 basis points on every one. So we'll end up being like 1.5, 1.75 for the year, something like that. It could be something like that. But, you know, again, we have a lot of artificial inflation too, from higher oil price, higher energy price, still supply chain issues, especially if, you know, wheat prices go up, a major export of Russia, and several other things. So there's a lot to take into account. A lot. I don't envy his job. Scotty, I appreciate that. That's great. Appreciate that. Monk, please speak about the housing market more. I mean, hey, we all have, we all need somewhere to live, right? So I think housing is important. But, you know, I've lived through 2008, 2009, right? During that time, it was not good for housing. Everything literally dropped 20, 30, 40, 50%. And there's neighborhoods that still hasn't recovered fully from that drop, right? So we have gone through housing bubbles before. It's not like we haven't seen it. But this time around, so many people think it's different, saying that the supply is just so low, demand is so high, right? Rates are so low. It's a perfect tsunami for the real estate market. But why is demand high, right? Why is supply low? Well, you could argue supply is low because supply chain issues and stuff like that, right? But not for existing homes. For new homes, I realize that. But why is demand high? Well, because you have all these people that's sitting on a boatload of cash, right? That they've saved up for the last 2 years. And, you know, it could be just because of less spending, you know, less vacations, less spending overall, a lot of stimulus being given out, right? That's why people are sitting on a pile of cash and they want to spend it, right? But that demand could certainly go away. That could certainly go away. With mortgage prices, they will rise, even though it's low now. Mortgage prices will rise, so that will curb demand, right? Because it's going to get more costly to buy a home, right? And then with everything else that's going up, with gas prices, gasoline prices going up, with food prices going up, people will be spending more money on those things, right? Rather than, let's say, houses. So, you know, the demand, even though most people argue, oh, demand is so high and supply is so low, so there's no way there could be a housing bubble again. You know, that demand could come down really fast, really, really fast, right? So, I don't know. I just think that with housing, you just have to be careful. It just seems like right now there's a certain group of people that think housing will go up forever and literally will not come down. But we know that's not the case. We lived through 2008 before. We've seen it before. I kind of went on a rant about housing there, but what else? Rune done 20% against BTC. Andrew, again, when something does 20% against BTC or something just goes up rapidly, that doesn't necessarily mean something happened or something good happened. It could just be a random pump. But Thor doesn't really excite me. It's a chain that's just all liquidity pools for DEXs. Mostly DEXs within its own chain, but you know, that's really it. It's just like a one gigantic liquidity pool provider. I know they have other stuff coming out, like, You know, they have their launch pads and they have DEXs that's on top of the chain too. But overall, just not that exciting for me at least. Jeff, appreciate that. Would you advise me to buy Doge in this current situation? No, I would not advise that. I would think there's many better buys than Doge at this point. I never go outside. Do you think the IMF could be buying BTC just so they could dump at critical times to keep? No, they won't. Richard, no, I don't think so. I don't think so. What is a catalyst for ADA? Well, they're going to have the Haskell upgrade in June. So that is a pretty big thing. That will make them better prepared for scaling. And as far as I understand, it does make it a little better for scaling too. So that's a big catalyst that's coming up. Is DAO overrated? I think so. I think most DAOs are overrated. Do I hold any Komi at this point? No, I don't. Will we have a recession soon? War continues, a rate hike is coming. I mean, that's what I just got done talking about. I mean, a lot of people are worried about that, and that is something that Powell has to be very careful of. He can't make it the rate hikes too high, because it will send the nation back into recession. Love your take on Hedera smart contract, staking, NFT.com. That's too much, man. That's too much. Well, I know Hedera was working on their EVM compatible smart contracts. I don't know if it's done. Last time I checked, it was not. Right? But Hedera, I think the biggest straw is their console. They have a whole bunch of people on their console that makes them look very legit and credible. And they already do have a few things, dApps that weren't utilizing smart contracts that people could use for NFTs and tokenization, stuff like that. But, they weren't very open source. That's why they were called Hedera Hashgraph. I don't know if they've removed that now. But, yeah, it seemed like they were still work in progress. Bottom line. When Cardano will go above $1. It could be tomorrow. It could be next week. It could be 6 months. You got to give it time. Am I bullish on Harmony? Yes. Yes, I am. I'm really curious about this upcoming DeFi Kingdoms expansion into Avalanche and getting airdropped that new token as a jewel holder, right? I think that's going to be a big thing for them. What is a better buy in your opinion? Chiliz, Cartesia, or Uniswap? If I had to pick those three, probably Chiliz, because they've been very, very oversold. So they have a good chance to come back up. But I think overall there's better buys than those three. XRP Flip Terra. Yeah, they're like neck and neck. XRP got a little boost recently because of my videos, number one. And number two is they won this. They're going to court now. The SEC was trying to block them from going to court, and they won that. So they got pumped up a little bit because of that. So good for XRP holders. But Terra, they had a tremendous run, and I think they will continue going. So they're gonna go back and forth, I think, throughout 2022. Do I like electricity? I like electricity as much as I like Linux. I haven't paid attention, Yagan, on Chromia that much recently. I don't think my neighbor Alice ever caught on. It's supposed to be such a... I mean, there was so much hype around it, and it would have really pumped Chromia up, but it never really caught on for some reason. People just didn't like it. Maybe because there's not enough women in this space. You know, Chromia... You know, my neighbor Alice is really like Animal Crossing, which is really popular among women. And there's not a whole lot of women in crypto. That could be the reason why. Did you see Elon's tweet challenging Putin for one-on-one? I don't know, man. Putin is a black belt in judo, someone said. But then again, I found out Putin is 69. I mean, he looks much younger than 69, but I don't know. I don't know who will win. I don't know if Elon is a big dude. I think Elon's like 6'2" or something. He's a big dude, but I don't know if he knows martial arts. Tyler Tracy obviously can't take a joke and doesn't understand sarcasm. He's like, you're pretty cocky for saying XRP went up because of your videos. No shit. You really think it happened because I play my videos? Are you just an idiot? All right. Yeah, sorry. I had to get out of my chest. Elon trains in jiu-jitsu. Does he really? I don't know if he does. Tom Brady is returning. Yes, he's coming out of retirement. What else? Would you pick a 2022 GV70 or RDX? I pick a GV70. GV70 looks amazing, but it is small. So is RDX. But GV70 looks better and drives better, has more features. So I'd pick a GV70 over RDX. But if you're looking for something small, I would recommend you to go drive a X3 also. X3 is more expensive, but BMWs just drive really, really nice. Really nice. So take a look at X3 versus GV70. Gina. Last time Gina was a no-show to the Powell press conference, which is going to happen this Wednesday. So I'm going to stream that, and let's see if Gina is called upon this time. Kevin just bought Tesla. Who? Kevin O'Leary or Meet Kevin? Which Kevin? There's a lot of Kevins out there. Have I tested MDX S-Type? No. But I did test the new MDX. And honestly, I was expecting more. The MDX, I feel like, went backwards versus their last generation. So, I don't know. Sometimes with these car manufacturers, I'm not quite sure what they're doing. I feel like they're on a roll. The last generation MDX sold very, very well. You see them all over the place. Do you see any new MDXs out there? No, because it's just not that good. So sometimes with these car manufacturers, I just don't know what they're doing. Anyways. Yeah, educational movement. I've tested the X1, X3, X5, X7. And in their class, I mean, no one beats them in terms of ride, how it drives and the ride. It's just, they're just unbeatable. But with that said, I don't think BMWs are the prettiest cars out there. And the interior quality, it could be better. Way too many buttons. They don't know how to simplify things. You know, not the minimalistic kind of, you know, vibe. BMWs suck at interiors, but they definitely know how to make them feel good when you're driving. Did I keep my Vivian pre-order? Yeah, they said I'm not going to get it until like 2024, so it's like almost pointless. It's almost pointless. It's so hard to buy a damn car. You know, it's like you're forced to pay thousands, tens of thousands, you know, more over MSRP to buy a car. And it just sucks. It sucks, you know? Like even like fun cars, you know? Just even getting like a Bronco. Like a Bronco would be a fun summer car to just go wherever. Dealerships are asking for like 30,000 over MSRP. I'm like, come on. What's with this Yeet, MetaMask, JP Morgan BS? Well, it turned out JP Morgan owns MetaMask. And that's because JP Morgan invested in Consensus, and Consensus is the company behind MetaMask. So now there's a lawsuit to remove JP Morgan as the owner of Consensus. That's what's happening right now. So I don't know what's go happen. Anyways, that is pretty much it. Overall, guys, you know, Bitcoin is still holding around 39,000. We got some, so we still have a lot of FUD out there, a lot of uncertainty, but we will get through it. Bitcoin, like I've been showing you guys every single day, is healthy, very healthy. In fact, it's getting stronger and more healthy every single day. So I'm losing my voice here. Bottom line, stay strong, stay patient, DCA, and we'll all be led to the promised land by Michael Saylor and Elon Musk. All right, guys, take care. And since I take 100% credit, full credit in XRP's rise recently, I will help it rise more by playing the most educational video you will ever see about XRP and Ripple. All right? So enjoy, guys, and take care. I'll see you guys tonight, 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time.
What do you think about Ripple?
Well, I mean, I think it's too centralized, but I definitely want to meet Chris Larson.